Ohayou gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, watashi wa Jordan-san desu, hajimemashite. And that is all you're going to get out of me when it comes to Japanese. I cannot speak a lick of Japanese beyond that point. Beyond that point, I can only say words, so don't get in my face about speaking Japanese. But anyway, my name is Jordan. For people who may or may not know, and for the people that do know me, what's up? So recently, and recently I mean it's going on 3 weeks, but I just came back from Japan, and I had the amazing opportunity to go there, and I thank my family for being so supportive. I thank my sensei for telling me about the trip. I thank my grandma for paying for the trip. I can't thank everybody enough for giving me the amazing opportunity to do such a thing. And I'm so happy that I got the chance to go, because it's definitely something I would never take back. But for time purposes and assignment purposes, I can't say too much about my trip because I will be here forever. But basically, I have to make a video about my exposure to Japanese culture, which is easy because I am an anime/manga geek. And so when it comes to the, I guess you can say, nerd culture or otaku culture, I'm with it. Like that's just me. But outside of that, I guess you can say for me, it was definitely quite the experience, just because I did not know what to expect. No amount of Discovery Channel, History Channel, whatever was going to prepare me for what I was getting myself into. I definitely would say it was quite the experience, but it wasn't that tough. It wasn't that tough to get accustomed to Japanese life, Japanese culture. Of course, I'm not Japanese, so therefore I can't have the full extent of everything. But or I didn't get exposed to the full extent of everything. But I got a taste of what it was like to live in Japan, figuratively and literally. Figuratively, in a sense, I got to go to different temples and shrines, and I got to do offerings, and I got to do prayers. Literally, because I ate just about everything that we came in contact with, and food-wise, not people. I'm not a cannibal, but food-wise, yeah. I wanted to try everything just because I may not ever get the chance to do so, and that's what I was thinking. So I might as well. Now, of course, I've only been to, before Japan, I had only been to Spain, but no matter where I go, I'm the type of person where I just respect that area. And as a traveler, I feel like people should, no matter where they go, they should respect the boundaries of the place that they're in. Some people get buck wild and just like, ooh, I'm in such and such place, let's go crazy. I'm the type of person where it's like, look, if they tell me not to go here, I'm not going to go here. If they tell me not to eat that, I'm not going to eat that. I'm just going to follow the rules. And that's just how it goes. Because it's the laws are different and the reactions are different. So here in America, you could go to such and such place and get buck wild and not get in trouble. You don't know what it's like in a different place. You might get arrested. That might be considered public indecency. So, and the public indecency laws could be a lot different. So I'm straight edge when I go to different places. I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna stay in my lane. But even so, I still had fun. So, I mean, I still have fun with my straight edgeness. But yeah, as a foreigner, it is a lot different, just because we're so used to, wherever we come from, we're so used to our native land or our native hometown or whatever. You know, I'm from North Carolina, so I'm used to sweet tea. I'm used to Southern hospitality. That's just what I do. So, but in Japan, in the East, hospitality etiquette is different. For instance, when you come home from school, not everybody does it, but a common way to announce yourself when you come home from school is you say "Tadaima," which means I'm home, or I'm home now. here in America, not everybody says I'm home. They just come through the house. And if your parents see you or your brother or sister see you, you can say hey, whatever. But you can just walk in your house and go upstairs. Also, in Japan, when you come home, or when you just about anywhere, not every place, but a lot of places, you take your shoes off. And I think the reason why you take your shoes off, I don't know myself, but I think the reason why is because one, your shoes are dirty, you're from the outside, and for the most part, the house is clean. You don't want to track dirt through your house or any other weird things that you've come in contact with. And then not only that too, it's kind of a respect thing because you know, you, again, like I said, usually the house is clean and you don't want to bring in all your nasty nasties through the house and you walking all over the house like boom, 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 dirt. So, again, here in America, now a lot of people do take their shoes off when they get to the door, but here in America, for the most part, you just walk through your house and go to your room and take your shoes off. Another thing too, the Japanese, they are very, very clean people. I said people. People. They're very, very clean people. For instance, when we went to Tokyo, which was the first place that we went to out of the 5 places that we visited, well, 6 places technically, that we visited, me and my roommate, every day when we would go to do the activities that we had planned, we'd come back because the housekeeping would come every day. And he slept in the top bunk, I had the bottom. And so every day we'd come back after doing our daily activities or whatever, he would see that not his mattress, but his bedspread and his sheets were folded. And I remember him telling me, because we were in Tokyo for about 3 days. On day 2, he was like, I'm getting tired of this. They do this all the time. No, we were in Tokyo for 3 days. Was it 3 nights, 4 days? I think so. Yeah, 3 nights, 4 days. And so, yeah, well, day 3, he was like, I'm getting tired of doing this. They do this all the time. I'm like, bro, I think this is protocol. I think that's just how they do things. Bathrooms. While we're talking about cleaning and everything, bathrooms are extremely clean. As far as the hotel bathrooms, I've been to some public restrooms. Some public restrooms were dirty, but I mean, I can't talk because a lot of public restrooms here in America are dirty. But and now in the hotel, the public restroom, well, not public restroom, but the room restroom, bathroom was clean, and they are small. It is small. The Japanese are smaller people are smaller in stature and size than your average American. And so, I remember the first time I walked into the bathroom, and I was like, "Whoa, this is really small." But that was cool. It wasn't that big of a deal. The bathtub is deep. It's width-wise, it's small, but like length and deepness is pretty deep. So you can just curl up in a ball and chill and take a bath. Also, they have shower head, like their shower heads. You can take them off their little racks that they're hanging on, and then you can just spritz yourself. That was pretty cool. Let's see, food. Did I mention the food? If I did, let me just mention it again. Food was on point. The food was delicious. Some of the things I had onigiri, okonomiyaki. I just screwed that word up. Okonomiyaki. There we go. Which is like these cooked noodles with different, like not really good sauce. Some like green basil, whatever. I don't know. It was good. I ate it. Of course, sushi. I had whale meat. I had a lot of squid. I had raw squid and fried squid. Onigiri, barley tea, CC lemon, which is this really good vitamin drink. Green tea, like authentic Japanese green tea. Tried natto. Not a big fan of natto. Tried red bean paste. It was okay. Had a whole bunch of candies. If you are a type of person, if you are a candy person, Japan of course has candy. But if you're a hard candy person, Japan is the place to go. And they have a lot of chocolate and hard candy. Let's see what else. Oh, I tried authentic ramen for the first time. It was so good. Oh, the ramen was so good. Yeah, it was just. Mm. I would like to say I adjusted pretty quick to the Japanese culture, just because it's. I think it was a lot easier to adjust to, because one, the people are so nice. They are very nice people. Um, they they understand that you are tourist or foreigner, so they're not really gonna be on your back the whole time. They're like, you can't do that, you can't say that, blah blah blah. It's like they understand and they walk things through with you instead of just pushing you out and you figure it out on your own. I met some really nice people who tolerated our Americanness, um, and I don't know. It was awesome. I enjoyed it. I definitely feel like if I could go back, or hopefully win, but if I go back, I could definitely get used to everything. Now that I know what to expect and how I know how to go about things, I think it will be a little bit different. Well, not a little bit. It will be a whole lot different living there by myself versus going with a group of people and then having an instructor. Well, two instructors that speak Japanese. Um, the good thing is a lot of people that we came in contact with understood and could speak English, and even understood and spoke English well. Like one of the girls that I met when we went to Chukio University, her name is Maki. Love you, Maki. She spoke English very, very well, I wasn't shocked. Like, oh, you can speak English? It was just like I didn't think that she could speak English. She spoke English better than I did, and since I am from America, where English is our native language, you would think that I know all the ins and outs of English. No, she had me beat. Like, correct enunciation, correct punctuation, correct, yes, English, correct English. But yeah, her, and then just everybody else that we've met was just amazing. And I wish I could say more on the subject, but honestly, I didn't have a hard time. I think and it's not really an issue for me, but I guess depending on, I mean, some people would probably find it an issue, especially some people in my community, in the African American community, because not only was I the only black guy in my group, black person in my group, I was one of two minorities. The other was my friend Sebastian, who was from Colombia. And there were some people that kind of was weirded out by me. There were sometimes there were times when people would look at me and then scoot away. Like when we were in Hiroshima, and we were studying about the atom bomb. There was this little girl in this little school group who saw me and she started to scoot away, and then she ran to her friends and called me a gaijin. And gaijin is literally translate to foreign person or outside person. And so at first I was hurt, but then I came to the realization that I'm not from here and I do look different. And I was in a place where the area that I was in Hiroshima, foreigners weren't really all too common. And I realized as we was going further south, it was becoming apparent that foreigners are not really common. That people are not used to seeing foreigners on a regular basis, like places like Osaka and Tokyo, where foreigners have inhabited. So it's not a big deal because I understood that, again, I'm in a different place. I look different. I speak different. Not everybody's going to be open arms. But the cool thing was to counter that experience. The cool thing was when we went to Naruto, went to this elementary school, and three different groups of sixth graders, and all my groups turned out to be girls. But my first group that I talked to, they were enjoying their time with me. They loved spending the time that we had together. They loved talking to me. At one point, one of the girls, I can't remember which one, but one of the girls mentioned that they rather just sit down and talk because everybody was getting ready to go outside. There was a period, a little recess period, where we got to go play different ball games or like where we had to play different sports like soccer. We could do jump rope. We could play basketball. One of the girls suggested that we just talk, but everybody wanted to go out and play soccer, so we played soccer, and that was fun. I got to play soccer with some of the kids out there during the recess period. And when we were done with everything, and they showed me around their school, like we got to go to, they had a small little petting zoo. That just butt kicked my kindergarten experience. They had their class pets. Well, they had school pets. They had a rooster / chicken, and they had bunnies everywhere. We had a goldfish and sometimes a turtle. What? For real? So that was cool. They showed me around the school. They toured me around a little bit. But what the interesting thing was, one of the little girls, she looked at me. Well, she looked at her friend and said she was happy, which I was like, oh, that's cool. That's sweet. And then she looked at me and she said, I am very happy because I am having fun. And I said, oh. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a very teary-eyed moment. I was about to cry just because I felt the genuineness in her voice when she said that, and it made me feel good because even though, I mean, I've met really amazing people, I was kind of shook by the idea of being an outsider. And, you know, I'm not going to lie, I'm used to going places where at least I know at least one person. And for me, I was an outsider with my group because, and not saying that they shunned me, but outsider in like I didn't know anybody besides Sensei. I didn't know any of the people on the trip, but I got to know them, and my group mates were amazing. So, and they might watch this video, and I don't want them to think that I'm dissing them. I love everybody on that trip, and I was an outsider in a country, so in a different country. So yeah, it was kind of weird. But I got used to it, and I can completely say that I enjoyed every step that I took while I was in Japan. Such a beautiful country. Miyajima is one of my favorite places. Definitely, I'll show you some things because I gotta go. But you want to know how much I love Japanese culture? I got authentic manga, show and jump. Got me a figurine. Want to know how much I love Japanese culture? Keychains and photo charms. You can't get this. You can't get this like you just can't get it like that. Come on, son. For real, son? Hold on. Want to know how much I love Japanese culture? I love Japanese culture, but in all seriousness, that was just some of the stuff I got. I'm definitely going to do a show and tell video one day. But I definitely enjoyed my trip to Japan. It was unbelievable. It was so surreal. I definitely recommend anybody who has ever thought about going, who's ever dreamed about going, go. Follow your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. And just go. Go and live. One of my favorite parts about Japan was I got to do this hike through the Thousand Torii Gates hike. I don't know how many miles it was, but I definitely got to do it. Speaking of Torii Gate, I saw the Torii Gate, the Torii Gate, while I was on Miyajima. That's one of the reasons why I love Miyajima. Before the tide kicked in, I saw the Torii Gate. Awesome, very awesome. Whew. But one of my favorite parts, like I said, was the Thousand Torii Gate walk, where it's these nice-sized Torii Gates that are lined up, and it pretty much loops around this huge mountain. And I did it, and I actually completed the whole thing. And I was shocked because I am the type of person where once I try something and I'll keep trying, I'll try a good 5, 6 times. If I can't get it, I'll just drop it and move on. But this the best way I can explain it, if you're a big Dragon Ball Z fan, like my friend Patrick, he explained it like this. How we explained it was like Goku running on Snake Way. Even though Goku fell off and came close to not completing his Snake Way journey, he still completed it. It was like Snake Way. It was like our version of Snake Way. It was tough because there were times where I thought about just turning around and going back. By midway through, I felt like my body was dying. I was probably half dead by the time, and didn't even know it by the time I was done. But I was happy that I was able to finish it and I finished it in this black shirt, by the way. I'm wearing the shirt of, I cleaned it. I'm not dirty. I cleaned the shirt, of course, but this is the shirt that I wore while I was walking on the trip weeks ago. So, walking up through the hike. But yeah, yeah, it was hard, but I got through it, and I'm happy that I did it, and I'm happy that I could say that I completed it. But yeah, the trip was definitely quite the experience. I'm so happy I got to go, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported me, my grandma who allowed me to go on the trip. Sensei, thank you so much for telling me about the trip. And on that note, I gotta go because this video is like 23 something minutes. I gotta edit it, take 13 minutes out. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you later.